Welcome back to Marvel Media Podcast and to a new series we're doing where we're reviewing movies or shows that either just one of us or maybe two instead of all three of us. These will come out at random times. We'll still do our normal uploads with all three of us. But I just thought I'd start the series off with a movie that recently came to streaming services that I really liked when I saw it in theaters. It came out to theaters late last year, which is The Menu, the thriller, I guess you can say. Not really a horror movie, so yeah, thriller fits better. Thriller/comedy movie, which, like I said, it came out late 2022. I saw it in November. It might have been October it came to theaters, and it's already on HBO Max as of January 3rd, I believe. So quick turnaround, which isn't too surprising though, because it is a lower budget film. It wasn't made by one of those major studios or anything like that, but it does definitely still have a star-studded cast. I would say the main three being the star of it, Anya Taylor-Joy, Nicholas Hoult, and then I believe it's pronounced Ralph Fiennes. I don't think it's pronounced Ralph, but Voldemort himself. And this movie, I really enjoyed it when I saw it in theaters. As soon as I saw it, I texted the other two guys and I told them, like, hey, I just saw The Menu. I thought it was really good. You guys should maybe go try it if you want to see it, I guess. Josh ended up seeing it in theaters. I don't think Alex has seen it as of me recording this. But now it's on a streaming service. He really has no reason not to, because both Josh and I thought pretty highly of it. Definitely me more than him, though. And like I said, for me, this movie just it really hit my sense of humor, because it's not exactly a comedy. The delivery is all very dry. It's very kind of satire, I would say, comedy. And for me, it just all really landed and hit. And that's not even like the main element of this movie. So like I said, it is a thriller, and the story and like the twists and turns you go down following Anya Taylor-Joy character mainly is really interesting to me. It kept me engaged the whole time. It's definitely one of those movies, because it is a thriller, that the first time you watch it, I think, is probably going to be the best time, because you don't know what's coming. And like I said, with the way the comedy is delivered, it just makes it better when you have no idea what they're about to say or who's going to say what coming up. And since the delivery of the jokes is, to me, a big part of why they land and why they were so funny, the first time not knowing what's coming definitely makes it a better experience. I did rewatch it since it came to HBO, and I still really enjoyed it, and that kind of was the thing that pushed me to be like, yeah, I should make a video about this, because I said in our 2022 video how this movie for me was kind of the movie that came out of nowhere, that I didn't really know, I guess. I don't even know if we talked about it in our video looking ahead of 2022. I didn't even know it was a thing really until I saw like one preview of it before it came out, and I was like, that seems kind of interesting. And even the previews don't give you too much of what's going on, which is kind of nice. And so I saw the preview and I was like, I kind of want to see this movie. Ended up seeing it with my brother, and we both just were in the theater laughing because he has a similar sense of humor as myself. And it just turned out to be a movie that I really enjoyed and was definitely one of my surprises for 2022. And since it's already on a streaming service, I thought, you know, if other people didn't see it in theaters, you can now see it and stream it to watch it. But like I said, with this movie, it's definitely going to be, I can see some people are not going to like it if they don't like that kind of humor, that kind of dry sense of humor, that, you know, the delivery of it is part of it. And, you know, it's just a very straight up satire type comedy. And even the writing for other characters is very satire, like, obviously being called The Menu, it has to do with cooking. So there's some like food critics and people who, you know, feel like they're food critics, and just the way they talk about just like food in general is very much like pretentious and annoying. But like for me, I thought that was funny, because, you know, I thought it was funny the writers were basically making fun of these people, which rightfully they should, because those people can be annoying. But it was just that satire comedy with a well-written story and a plot that was very interesting. And like I said, the twists and turns you go down it kept me engaged the entire time, which I really appreciated. And it's a shorter film. I think it's right around 150, 145, somewhere in there. So it's kind of nice that it doesn't drag on. I feel like at any point, really, it kind of, from the beginning, you know, there's not a whole lot of huge setup to what's happening. It's very much like the movie starts, you kind of understand, like, okay, here's what's happening. And then when the movie comes to a conclusion, it kind of wraps itself up. and it ends. So it's kind of nice that there's no dragging on. And to me, I personally love that about movies. I hate when movies at the end of it should have ended like 10 minutes ago. I hate those kind of movies. But this one does a nice job of just kind of wrapping it all up and finishing. But overall, I mean, this movie, for me personally, like I said, I understand the comedy. There's going to be plenty of people who watch this and are like, that movie just wasn't good. It wasn't funny. I get that, because this is kind of, any type of comedy obviously is subjective or whatever, you know. Everyone has different kind of things that make them laugh or hits them in a whatever way. But for me, I just figured I'd recommend it to those people if you do have more of a dry sense of humor, kind of appreciate those satire kind of comedies. This one definitely is one that you should check out. Overall, though, I feel like between the acting, which, like I said, the three main people in this movie are, you know, Anya Taylor-Joy, Nicholas Hoult, Ralph Fiennes. They do phenomenal jobs in all of their roles. Voldemort's back at his classic way of kind of being more of the villain in this movie, which was cool to see. And even the delivery of some of his lines. My brother didn't realize he played Voldemort. And when we were in the theaters, he kind of had the delivery of a line that his voice and like his, I guess, tone of his voice, you kind of could hear a little Voldemort in it. And my brother leaned over. He's like, "Did he play?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's Voldemort." So that was kind of funny. But yeah, he's obviously in Harry Potter. He was, you know, I would say personally, a very good villain. And in this movie, he is, and again, he kills it, which is no surprise, as he's a very talented actor. And Anya Taylor-Joy, I mean, I feel like she's been kind of a big name recently, obviously. Over a few years ago, she had her kind of run of like Queen's Gambit. I think this year even she was in Peaky Blinders. She's had her run, and I haven't seen her in too many things. I've known about her. I can't think of off the top of my head what I have, but I know I've seen her before, and then seeing her lead in this movie, I was like, okay, she's a phenomenal actress. So that was cool to see. And then obviously Nicholas Hoult, he's a pretty well-known actor, X-Men franchise, the newer ones, for, you know, played Beast in those. But I just thought they all did a great job. And then the supporting cast was really good. I can't think of any of their names off the top of my head. I know John, it starts with an L, I can't think of it right now. He was one of the supporting actors. All of them did really, really good jobs in this movie to make it interesting and have all these different people that were kind of came together in this situation that kind of, not really, they didn't group up together, but they were all around each other very much, and they all kind of played off each other really well in the couple scenes that they kind of talked with each other. So they all did a good job, and I just thought all around the cast was really good. The cinematography in this movie actually is really good. Watching it a second time kind of let me look at that stuff a little bit more instead of just being fully interested in the story. I could kind of look around and look at other things, and it's well shot. Obviously, like I said, it does have cooking aspects in it, and I thought those scenes were all really good and really engaging and interesting, which I appreciated. I don't know, for some reason, I like a good cooking movie. This isn't solely focused on the cooking, but when there is cooking going on, I feel like how it's filmed just looks really pleasing, which I just like for some reason. I don't know why. So that was definitely one of the highlights. And so overall, I just thought this movie is one that on the channel we should just give it a little bit of appreciation. And maybe if people haven't seen it, or they, you know, were wondering if they should give it a shot, I think you should. Like I said, it's more of a thriller movie, not a horror movie, but I think the writing is phenomenal. The acting is really good. The cinematography is really good, like I said. And just, I think it's a really enjoyable movie. I'd probably give it somewhere, if I had to rate it out of 10, somewhere around like an 8.5, 8.8, somewhere in there. But like I said, part of that is it gets a very high rating for the comedy, and it just hit my sense of humor. It's just one of those movies for me that I think is funny. So yeah, I think, like I said, HBO Max, if you have it, you want to give it a shot, I think it's definitely worth it. It's a shorter watch, being under 2 hours, which is kind of nice. And I think everything about it, it makes it worth giving at least a watch. Let me know in the comments down below if you have seen it, if you're going to see it, what you thought of it, if you liked it or didn't like it, how come. Obviously, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you guys in the next one.